Welcome back. This is part 3 of the restoring of the table saw. What I've done is I've stripped off the motor mount, the guard. This is the bracket that covers the belt in, and there's the other cover over there. This is the setting guide that I've taken off that I want to restore, and then we've got the two handles that obviously give you up and down movement and give you the angle. So I've stripped those off. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to clean the bed up. I've had a quick go with a brass crimpled brush on a grinder, and to be honest it's coming up quite well. So I'm going to go over the whole thing with that, and hopefully that will give me a good enough finish to be able just to oil it, and that'll be good. I don't really want to be rubbing it down unless I really have to, because I don't want to, obviously it's flat, and if I rub it down I'm going to get little indentations in it, which I don't do. I've given the framework a bit of a hoover over just to get the loose dust off of it, but it still needs a bit of clean with a damp cloth, which I'll do. So I'll get the camera set up, and we'll have a bash at the tabletop. Hopefully we can get that look nice and shiny. Table's all cleaned up, came up really well. Still got a few little marks in it, but you expect that. I mean, I think the date stamp on the saw is around about 1993, 94, something like that. So you expect it, and it's been stored in a damp area. That's why it was a bit rusty. So anyway, they're all cleaned up. The table has been soaking now for around about 12 hours. Going to give it a few more hours, and then I'm going to give it a good wipe over. I'm not going to use any detergent or anything. I'm just going to wipe off the excess oil, and that should then be enough to stop it going rusty. When it's in the workshop, it's sheeted up. That's my other one. It's always sheeted up out of the way with all the rubbish stacked on top of it. Look. So it's always sheeted, so it shouldn't be too bad. So I have now painted the motor. Give it a quick clean up. There's nothing wrong with the motor, so I just wanted to make it look pretty, really. So I'll give it a bit of a spruce with some paint. The cowling's done. The guard system I've straightened up a little bit and repainted that. The wheels, the adjusting wheels up and down and the angle, they were all crudded up and all that, so I've cleaned all those up. So everything's ready to go back together now. I haven't done a lot to the guide, sorry, because that's working fine. The only thing I had to do was this bit here, which is for adjusting on the rack and pinion, was a little bit seized, so I've had that out, stripped that and cleaned that, and that's all free now, so that's good. The locking, there's like a camber in there. There's a locking system that was a little bit seized up, so I've had that out and stripped that out and cleaned all that, so that's working fine now. And I've also cleaned all the frame, and that has come up really well. I'm really pleased how the framework's come up. So I don't need to repaint it. There's a few little marks on it, but at the end of the day it's an old saw, and I ain't going to worry about the little marks. It's going to get more use and maybe chipped a bit more. So, but anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give this a couple more hours to soak in. Going to clean this, and then I'm going to start putting it back together, get the motor back on, get it all rewired, get the cowling back on, get the guard system, or the guard system all back on, and then she's going to be ready for use, which I'm quite excited about using it. What I did do with this, I had to adjust this bit a little bit. This works on 4 small grub screws that allows it to sit flush on your table, and what I found was when I put it in place it was a bit proud with the grub screws screwed all the way out. So what I've had to do is I've just had to take a file to the back of these and just shim these down or file these down just a little tiny bit on this corner and this corner. I didn't want to risk trying to bend the cast iron because I guarantee it would have broke, so I didn't want to do that. So but now that fits perfectly smooth now, so I'm happy with that. So that's a good improvement. So yeah, so anyway guys, I'll get this back together and I'll come back to you when that's all back together. Right, so what I've done now is, obviously I need the blade parallel to the table, so I've used the digital angle finder, zero the table, which is obviously 0, and then we want our blade at 90 degrees, and which I've set. And now I've altered, just move it down a little bit. Now I've set the pointer to 0. So this here now should be, it's only a rough guide. Obviously if it's something that's perfectly accurate, then we use the digital finder anyway, the digital angle finder before we cut. But this is just a rough guide which is set correctly now. So we can start getting, I'll get the handle and that back on this. And then that's the final stage. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for making it to the end. There may be a couple of videos down below that you might be interested in. If you do, pop over and check them out. Also, if you're a subscriber to the channel, then thank you very much for your continuous support. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, then pop over and click this link here to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell notification to be notified for all my latest uploads. So hey guys, take care, speak to you soon.